I'm ready to go kayaking in my Pelican Quest 100, which is now like over how old is that?
Oh. We had it at the other cottage.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's old. Not as old as me though.
8 years?
Maybe 10.
10 years?
Anyway, this is all my gear. It's all stowed in waterproof bags, apart from what I'm going to eat. Kitty made me some nice sandwiches, and I have grapes for the journey and water for the journey. Now, for the first time, I'm going to load this.
Easier in the inflatable.
Much easier. In fact, as I recall, having this jammed into this helps with the back.
One thing's wrong.
Puffin. Let's find him. Puffin, come on. There he is, little man. Come on. Ready to go kayaking. I think I'm on my own. Wind's dropped since we got here, which is forecast, which is nice. It's supposed to be 20 to 25k, which is on the far end of what I'd like to do on the plastic inflatable. Look at him. What an obedient little terrier. So Kitty's going out because I went out and I came back in again. About 100 meters out, I'm getting hit by strong 25-kilometer winds that aren't dropping. Again, not forecast. The bay I cross is a kilometer bay and there's nobody out at all. I think it's doable, but it's kind of on the cusp of what I want to do. So I'm sending Kitty out to test it. The boat itself is very stable. I'm very happy with it. It's exactly how I remembered it. There's no way I'd go out in the inflatable in this type of wind. It really kind of hits you. This has been a terrier abandoned at a boat launch production 2022. Where's your mummy? Oh, she's not over there. So last night the area got hit by tornadoes and there's a few barns down, roofs off. There was no alert. See, I think it's doable. I just don't think it's safe. And maybe it's just my psychology because I had such a bad experience last week. What I do know is I went out from here 3 kilometers with Kitty and I felt very uncomfortable in the inflatable kayak and made us turn around. Again, it was pretty windy, but not quite as windy as this. I think I'm a fair weather kayaker. And now I have to go and pull Kitty in. So I abandoned. About 25-kilometer knot winds all the way across for a kilometer. Not comfortable with it. It's pretty windy. It's not forecast. And it's getting quite choppy. The old Costco kayak, absolutely great, felt great in it. It's a bit tight with gear, but I really enjoyed it. So throwing the kayak back on. Now Kitty's going to go out in the inflatable kayak with a friend of hers. And I'm going to stay at home, and then either this afternoon or tomorrow, wind dependent, we will try again. And the system works quite well. I wouldn't advise it on highways. This has been I'm Sitting in the Front Seat, Wolfie Terrier Production 2022. Well, I think I made a good decision yesterday. Kitty and a friend actually went to a different lake and it was fairly sheltered where they went in, and they didn't kayak. They were having major problems with breakers and wind as well. However, the forecast is holding. It's about 10 to 15 kilometers an hour out of the west, and that's fine. As you can see from the trees, it's windy, but it ain't bending the boughs at the top, which is the important part. Got a delivery yesterday while I was out. Marmalade kitten. One of the last remaining LifeStore Mission 12s for sale. So I now have a backup, which I'm really happy about. So I've got a few bits and pieces, but what I really wanted to show you, got 2 bags of this. The other bag's been opened and it's actually for coffee when I'm out and about. But I realized when I did my camping trip, I didn't have this stuff. So I bought this, and yes, it's going to be great to start fires with. And by buying it like this, it actually is extremely cheap. It's like $17 for all of them. Canadian. So yeah, now I have enough hand sanitizer to start all the fires I could ever possibly want to start. Bearing in mind in Canada and grid down, I'd actually have the fire on all the time during the winter months. So I wouldn't actually be starting the fire very much in the winter. This is strictly more so for camping and kayaking, but I find the hand sanitizer gel really useful to start fires, and it gets over my skill lacks. And let's face it, sometimes it's wet, sometimes it's windy, sometimes it's both. and being able to start the fire no matter what is important. And I didn't want to do it with petrochemicals. And this is alcohol based, not petrochemical based. I think that's an important difference. I think people need to start to get their dependency on petrochemicals reduced. So I'm going for one night, not 2 nights, and I'm going back to the original campsite, so it's about 6 kilometers in, and then 6 kilometers out tomorrow morning, where the wind is even forecast no wind. This morning's going to be different, because Kitty's actually going to kayak quite a bit with me on the way out, and she might even get all the way to the campsite. I wouldn't be surprised. She's pretty strong. And here we are, a nice sunny day. We've gone about 2 kilometers. We've got about another 3.5 to go, so we better get on it.